Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Gemini for the week of July 18th. Now Gemini, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Gemini. Now, I am using the Tarot Muka as well as the Higher Self Affirmation deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Now, it is still the case that less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that, especially if you watch my content regularly. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right. That looks just about good enough to me. Let's go ahead and put this up here. And also take 3 of these higher self cards to clarify as we go along, Gemini. So, all right, we'll put that up there. So, Gemini, I really like the energy that I'm feeling just in putting the cards down, in shuffling, in placing everything on the table here for you at this time. It is interesting. I feel like you have a nice stretch of time here, a pleasant period of time here. There is something around impulsivity that is coming forward that you don't want to, I'm thinking of a phrase like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. But that's not really what I'm trying to communicate. That came into my mind, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, which is this like old saying. You can look up the saying if you want to, but it's like it seems like there's a pleasant stretch of time or a pleasant period of time, but you have free will. And the thing is, like, impulsivity might put a damper on this period of time if you're not careful. So I would say be careful of being impulsive, because there is something that's really nice here for you at this time, at this period of time that we're looking at. So let's just dive into this a little bit more. So in the overall situation, you have the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles says that you are building on something here, okay? This person is a builder. As you can see on the scaffold, they are finishing up their statue, and they're actually in the company of their mentor here in this case. This can be a card of taking on apprenticeship or becoming a mentor, taking on a mentor. You could flip those around, depends on what position you're in. But this can also just simply refer to your colleagues, the people that you work with on a day-to-day basis. This can also talk about like you getting feedback or getting critiqued on your work, which the critique process is a very important part of becoming better, because sometimes we need to take a step back and allow other people to look at what we're doing. On top of that, the 3 of Pentacles can indicate rewards and recognition for a quality job well done. You know, I think some of you are building like a framework, or you're building on top of a skill set that you have. I think there's also maybe, like, if you go to an office every day, I would say like this looks like a nice period of time, but again, be careful of some type of impulsivity is what I feel like saying. And I don't know where that could be. We'll talk about it more as we go. I'll try to get some more details as I go along on what you may be, where the impulsivity is coming from. But yeah, it's just coming into my mind. So in the past here, you have the Strength card and the 4 of Wands. So the Strength card is really an energy of willpower, courage. It's also about like confidence and being so courageous that you can take a nap with a lion, as this person is doing. They're literally napping with this lion here. And I mean, you have to be super, super confident and super courageous to get that close to a lion. And so it's like having that type of power and yeah, kind of putting it into a card. Now it's also this idea of being able to overcome obstacles as well. But the thing is, these are internal obstacles, okay? So the thing about the Strength card is you being able to work through inner demons or inner obstacles that you may have. Take a look at the mountain in the distance as well. When you get a mountain in a tarot card, when there's a mountain in the distance, that talks about obstacles or problems that you are yet to sort of overcome. But it can be this energy of striving to get to the top. So it is about sort of this idea of, yeah, like striving to get to the top or to reach the summit of the mountain. And so there, you definitely have the ability to do that here. You have the Four of Wands with it as well. Four of Wands is really a nice card of like marriage. It can be. I don't think that there's anything around marriage here, but you can see that these people are in a marriage ceremony. But it's more about like setting your foundation in the world, kind of building on your foundations and achievements, there's something about building here, Gemini, with the Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. You're building on top of something, or you're building something. And I think that this is like skill sets, foundations, knowledge. I think that there's also something for some of you. I think that there's like potentially other people involved here as well. Just looking at the symbolism of these three people like in the ceremony, plus this idea of colleagues or people you work with in the Three of Pentacles. But in the future, you have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Swords here. So Ace of Cups is really about new happiness. It's a new beginning in love or a new beginning in happiness. It's one of the most pleasurable cards that you could find in a tarot reading. It's sort of like a happiness pill, is like what the Ace of Cups is about. You can see that the cup here is overflowing with joy. Overflowing cups are really a good sign in tarot. And then you can see the dove as well here. Dove is a sign of, the bird dove is a sign of, dove birds are a sign of happiness. Sorry, I was having a hard time getting that out. But yeah, so this is about an outpouring of joy, of celebration, of happiness, of kind of nice energy. Of course, this can signify the start of a new romance, if that's something that you're looking for. But here we come to this idea of impulsivity with the Knight of Swords, which the Knight of Swords is a card that says go for it. Okay, it says go for it. Shoot your shot, if you will. But at the same time, the Knight of Swords warns you to not be so impulsive that you ruin a situation or that you are being destructive. And so here we see this reading is extremely good so far, but at the same time, it's almost like do not destroy this period of time is what I feel like saying. But I want to get some more details on that because I'm not exactly sure why I'm feeling so pulled to say that. So let's see what that might be about. So you have the Two of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords, you have the Six of Cups, and you have the Tower. Okay, well there it is. That's why I was feeling that. Okay, so the thing is, Tower, Knight of Swords, that's just destruction. But is this going to happen? No, I don't think that it's up to you, right? It's up to you. You have free will. So here's the thing. This isn't doom and gloom. The majority of the cards here are very good. Here's the thing about the Tower. It's actually a blessing in disguise, okay? As I always like to say, these people are falling from the tower. They had no way. You notice here, there are no doors on this tower, okay? There was no way for these people to get out anyway, right? And so, yeah, the tower's falling. It's coming to its foundation, but they're also being given a way out of a challenging, of a trapped situation. And so are tower moments fun? Typically not. They can just represent revelations generally, but at the same time, are they a necessary part of our journey? Yes, they are. And many times they reveal where we were kind of misaligned in our life. If there was disruption or misalignment, the tower brings that, collapses that, and allows you to build anew. And that's the thing. That makes sense. I was getting this idea of you building here throughout this entire reading with the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Some of you are building anew here. You're building something. Maybe you're starting from zero. Okay, maybe you're starting from ground zero. Something along those lines. You're starting over. You're beginning again. And allow this sort of situation, allow this process to sort of happen, and allow yourself to be guided during this time. You have the Six of Cups. This might be about something from the past here. This could be a past life timeline for you that you're playing out. I know that's a little bit esoteric. You have to believe in past lives, but even if you don't, there may be something that you're dealing with from the past that you're still dealing with today. This is just a friendly reminder that here's the thing, the past doesn't exist because the past has already happened. Okay, the future doesn't exist because the future hasn't happened yet. And so really the only thing that you can do is be in the now, is be here, be now. And that's kind of what I feel like saying. You have this Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. There's something that's happening quickly or that's happened quickly. Queen of Swords can be, this could be your energy. Okay, this could be you showing up. It could also be somebody who's extremely focused on a goal. Sometimes though that they're so focused that they're like missing what is going, or missing out on what is right in front of them, or like not seeing the cues around them, or not paying attention around them because they have such a focus. They can use the focus to make great things in their life, but at the same time it's like sometimes we do need to take a step back. Then you have this Two of Pentacles in the past, which was a change. There was a change here in the past. It happened, I think, quickly for some of you. Okay, there was a change that happened quickly in the past here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what these oracle cards are. And you can see the sunlight coming through my window here. All right, let's see here. You have self-love. I let love flow through me into everything. All self-love is self-love because there is only one self. Interesting. Discipline. I lovingly serve what I devote to myself. Discipline serves devotion. And then you have boundaries. I establish boundaries to support my freedom. Boundaries do not oppose freedom, they support freedom. Okay, this is misunderstood by many. Boundaries are like a superpower, okay? Boundaries are so important. The thing is, like anything worth doing in life, it's not exactly easy, okay? It's not exactly easy to set boundaries, especially if you're somebody who's maybe recognized that you have dipped into people-pleasing modes in the past. Boundaries are very hard to set for folks in that energy. And the thing is, boundaries allow you to pursue what you truly want to do. Okay, they put a wall up between you and what doesn't serve you. And boundaries are okay. You're allowed to set boundaries. Maybe you want to do some research if you haven't like worked with a therapist on what they are, but yeah, they're very important. So you have the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Wands, and you have the Four of Swords. Okay, so Eight of Wands, a card I love to see. Eight of Wands says that there's something, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've talked about this in the past. Two of Pentacles, a change in your life in some area. It's hard to say what this is around because it's one of these readings where we're getting all of the suits kind of dispersed here. So when that happens, for me, it could be about just anything in your life, something changed here. But it happened quickly, which is what I really need to communicate because of the Eight of Wands with this idea of like the Knight of Swords, the Tower, and the Queen of Swords. Something happened very quickly. There was news in the past year delivered where something moved forward very quickly. In the current situation, you are sort of you're picking up the pieces here. You're kind of dealing with this situation with the Five of Wands showing up. Five of Wands is about conflict. It's a struggle. Could be an internal conflict. What I will say is, remember, you do have this you have the Strength card here, which means that you're ready to overcome any conflict, obstacle that's put or placed on your path here, put in your way or placed on your path. And so do keep that in mind. And then the Four of Swords, you really coming to a place of healing and rest, recovery. You can see that this person is praying here. And whatever you believe in or whatever, you can just, instead of prayer, you can say like communicating with guides if you don't believe in prayer or whatever. But here's the thing. This is very important. I've been talking about this idea of impulsivity the entire time, Gemini. Knight of Swords, Tower, Four of Swords. You want to be in the Four of Swords energy, okay? You want to be in the Four of Swords energy right now. You want to be in the healing, the calm, the collected energy right now, okay? Because whatever's going on here with this Tower and the Knight of Swords, it can be prevented by just not reacting, okay? Sometimes in life, the best action is to not react. And so that's what I kind of feel like saying. You have the Ten of Wands and you have the Two of Swords. if you don't feel like you have anything nice to say, or if you don't feel like you are able to find the words of how to say something to somebody, it may just be best to not say it. Okay, and in that case, it may just be best to put up a boundary. And the reason I say that is because you have the Two of Swords. This person's restricted in speech, having a hard time coming up with the words. And we have this idea of impulsivity. Maybe a boundary will be what you need instead. Okay? The other thing about the Strength card is it can be like an outpouring, like a emotionally charged situation. So that's just something to consider here, like an explosion, if you will. Then you have this Ten of Wands, which is a burden. You've been carrying this burden from whatever changed here in the past, and I think that this is something that you're becoming aware of. At the top of the pyramid, you have the Devil card. Here's the thing. The Devil is like that. It's like, you know that you've heard that phrase, like I have an angel on my shoulder and an angel on my left and a devil on my right, or whatever. Or I have like an angel on my shoulder and a devil in my mind, or whatever it is. And it's almost like there are two paths that you can take here. And one is non-reaction, and the other one is impulsive reaction. And I think it's going to be up to you. It's up to you how you respond to that. You also have the Chariot. The thing is, you will receive a victory here. You will receive success, and you will overcome this obstacle. It's just how you go about doing it, okay? And so there is success and there is very good energy here showing up, but it's the way that you act that's and the way that you either react or don't react. That's very important. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading.